Hello everybody, this is John. Welcome to the NCGA Valent Ag Weather Outlook, October 15th, 2016. Now this time of year, what I would be looking for as we really get into the fall months is start to see a little bit more atmospheric energy, a little bit more vigorous systems, a little bit more action as far as cold fronts pushing through with some gusty winds and more noticeably colder temperatures. A better opportunity for frost and freeze, and maybe some dreary days with some lighter type precipitation. Now, there is a secondary severe weather season, especially over the southern tier of the U.S., not so much over the primary corn belt, and that ushers in the latter part of fall where we start to get into the winter season when we really get more activity. But we're still sort of in that borderline right now between the real quiet fall weather and just some hints of a little bit more active type weather. Now last week, very quiet, not much at all going on, just some light precipitation here and there. It should have allowed plenty of time to get into the fields and continue with harvest operations where that continues. And a couple areas still quite wet. And you can see where that is here. This is that area that's really received all the heavy rain, and this blue area here is very wet soils. Look at the southeast U.S., how dry that is. And I do have folks in that area that are asking me, when are we going to get some rain? It's really having a problem putting fertilizer down, secondary plantings. There's just been no rain whatsoever. So it's very, very quiet and dry in the southeast U.S., northeast U.S. as well, and the western U.S., especially California. So even though the primary corn belt has had adequate, if not excessive, rainfall in most areas, other areas are really hurting for rain. Now, I think you can tell where Hurricane Matthew came across, eastern parts of South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. Very heavy rain in that area. Soils are saturated. So last week, as far as temperatures go, we did have a cool spell that came in. We have been having this roller coaster type weather. That's going to continue. That's not unusual for fall. That's certainly what we would expect this time of year. But look at it as far as the temperature averages last week, generally either a little bit above or a little bit below normal. Eastern Corn Belt in yellow, a bit more above normal. Western Corn Belt, a bit more below normal. Now this week we're going to start off with a unusual anomaly of extremely warm temperatures. We're going to have more under the influence of this ridge of high pressure. Now this is a 5-day average. Here's the dip in the jet stream. Here's the bulge in the jet stream. More significant bulge. Look at the shading of temperature here, and then a bit of a cool down as this pushes in. So that's the first step of this roller coaster, or the first leg, so to say. But until that roller coaster starts down on the dip, here we go. We have anomalies here of this looks like 10 degrees above normal temperatures in many areas, and that's going to bring us near record temperatures in many areas. This is on Monday. Temperatures well into the 80s and actually 70s over almost the entire Corn Belt. We're looking at middle 80s, and that's probably close to record-breaking temperatures over many areas. Now that's going to go on for a number of days. Then we're going to have this cold front. Just to give you some timing, this is Thursday. It's cutting right through the central part of the U.S., and that's going to usher in a return to either normal or either slightly below normal temperatures for the latter part of the week. So that's that roller coaster as far as temperatures go. Now, like we see in fall, there's not a whole lot of moisture in the air, so there could be some precipitation, could be a bit of a rainy day as that front goes through, but overall nothing all that significant. I think rainfall amounts are going to generally be less than a half inch, almost certainly below an inch over most areas. Now let's hope for the southeast U.S. we do get this rainfall here. I think it's a little bit iffy, but there could be some significant rain over the southeast U.S., and if so, that would be very welcome over that area. Now as we go through the period October 20th through 25th, here we go again. Roller coaster weather I was talking about. Here's that dip in the jet stream, but it's pushing back up to the north to our west, so that cooler air is going to gradually be pushing off to the east, and this warmer air will gradually be pushing off to the east as well. So what we see in the 6 to 10 day period, we generally see temperatures fairly close to normal, maybe a bit below normal here and there. That'll depend a bit on clouds. If we get more clouds, it'll be below normal. If we don't, it'll probably be fairly close to normal during that 6 to 10 day period. Then as we get into the latter part of October, 25th through 30th, a bit of a push in the jet stream to the north. Look at the brown. You don't see a whole lot. So that's saying the jet stream's fairly close to normal. But temperatures also moderate, and we're looking at temperatures maybe a bit above normal in the central and western Corn Belt, near normal in the east. So let me summarize temperatures. We're going to start, roughly depending on where you're at, early this week through the middle part of the week, with well above normal temperatures nearing record levels. Then we're going to have a cool down. We're going to be going back fairly close to normal, maybe a bit below normal for about 5 days. And then we're going to be coming back up again to either near to above normal, but not to where we had early this week. As far as precipitation goes, looks like a couple pockets of maybe a bit above normal right along that front, but really looks to me like it's not going to be all that impressive, this rainfall. Then week 2 looks quite dry. No upper atmospheric energy that I see that's going to give us too much of an issue. So overall, week 2 looks quiet. And then this is a long lead outlook. This is weeks 3 and 4, just to give you some clue as far as the general trends. And it looks like above normal temperature. So I'm always talking about is what is the underlying trend. So in other words, all things equal, which direction will we go? And I think right now this above normal temperature is that direction. That's why in many of my outlooks I'm calling for above normal temperature. So even though we've cooled down, we're always sort of fighting to get back to this. So that's what we see weeks 3 to 4. Right now it's saying normal, maybe a bit above normal precipitation over the Great Lakes, part of the upper Midwest, but we'll see on that. So as far as it goes, the summary here, the alerts well above normal temperatures this week. But that cold front will be pushing through and cooling things off, generally depending where you're at, mid to late week. Overall, this roller cooler temperatures, 5-day periods going back and forth, but the biggest anomaly of warm temperatures are going to be the first 5 days here or so. But overall, the pattern looks like below normal precipitation. I enjoy hearing from you. I heard from several folks last week with some specific questions, and if you have any questions, there's my email. And you can always, if there's something I'm not covering on these, or if you think they're too, if you want them longer, fine. If you want them shorter, let me know. Any comments you have, if you are a regular listener and you're really finding it useful, let me know as well. I like to hear that. That gives me some good positive reinforcement I'm going in the right direction for your briefings. I hope we continue to get some good harvest weather here as we get well into the harvest season. And I hope you all have a great week. Take care.